Welcome to the BTM Club show. Today we have the legend that is Imaani Saleem.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you? Now,
I'm
can I
really
just
good.
start by saying, even my computer was terrified at the prospect of interviewing this lady. We were just about to start, and then suddenly everything just crashed. And I was looking at a blank screen, and the computer was going, "Oh no, not Imani! I'm terrified." Big flashing on my screen. Anyway, we are ready to go. How are you, my darling?
I'm really good, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you, Barry. It's been a long time coming.
A long time coming,
Yeah.
indeed. I mean, I have to say, I'm a bit of a snob where music is concerned, and there are very few singers that I really follow like that. And I can name
Wow.
them because they know who they are. But this lady is definitely one of them. And yeah,
You're too kind. You're too kind.
and you're too talented, but there we go.
And that's why I'm here. That's
Exactly. We're all
exactly
two
why I'm
something,
here.
aren't we? So, busy lady that you are, finally I've got you tracked down. She's been on holiday, she's been working, etc., etc. How have
Uh,
you been?
I've been good. It has been a busy time. I've been running up and down like a mad person. I just came back from Turkey at the weekend, where I took my band, and we had the best time. So yeah, I'm enjoying
Because you were
enjoying my
away
life.
on holiday somewhere, weren't you, in August?
I did Turkey on holiday.
Right.
Then I did a bit of English stuff.
Okay.
Then I went to Finland. And then I've been to Turkey again, to Bodrum
You
this
see
time.
how honored we are to get her here to even nail her down, to have like a 20-minute
Oh,
in her
babe.
life. Well, now I know your original name, but I have to find out the significance in you changing your name to Imani Salem. What is the significance?
I only use Saleem now if I have to be fair,
Right,
because I always saw myself as, like Prince, Madonna, Imani. That's where I
right,
got
yeah,
myself
yeah.
in that lineup. Saleem, I only put on because there was some hotel rooms that I went to and they wouldn't check me in without a last name, and I didn't want the band to know. So I came up with Saleem, which is one of my nephew's name. Saleem means peace. That's where we got that from. But
Right, but
Imani,
Imani is powerful, isn't it? Because it means
Imani
faith
means
and
faith,
belief.
and it was the one thing that I think I've lacked over the years. And when I first started singing, I needed something to cling to. And I
Right.
thought, I'm so nervous. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to plug my laptop in. I'm so nervous about standing in front of people and singing that I needed a name that I could live by. So I thought faith in myself. So I
Yes,
called
faith and
myself
belief in
Imani.
myself is quite powerful.
It is. I had to add another A because once I was doing an interview up north, I can't remember where it was, and I was driving up and they were going, "Yeah, we've got Imani on her way up to the studio." And I thought, right, we need to put the extra A in so we won't have any
Imani.
Imani. Imani. Imani. So double A and also a bit of symmetry there. I had it all planned out. But it was a kind of spiritual thing for me, I suppose, to choose that name.
And has it helped?
I think so. I think so.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the important part. Once you think so,
Yeah, I
that,
do. I mean, I'm still probably the most nervous performer you'll ever meet. I find the whole thing terrifying. Uh, the
like my
smallest,
computer talking to you.
exactly, the smallest gig, the biggest gig, I find the whole thing quite painful. The lead up to gigging is painful. But once I'm on stage and I've got that microphone in my hand, then it's my living room and you're lucky to be invited.
So you're originally from Nottingham, isn't it?
That's right. Born in Notts, raised in Derby. Moved to Derby when I was 9 with my family.
Derby.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my family's still there. Mum and dad are still up there now, and my sister and brother. And then I've been here since I was 19. And I'm not going to say when that was because obviously I'm ageless and
Oh, it
evergreen.
was only a couple of years
A
ago.
couple of years ago.
Early
Ageless
2000.
evergreen, that's me. In the words of the great Barbara Streisand, yeah?
But your journey has taken you to everywhere, as we see, and you did the Eurovision in
I did.
1998, wasn't it?
I did. I did. I was approached to do the Eurovision by I was the in-house vocalist in a publishing company at the time. So the writers would make their songs. They looked for a female vocalist. I was one of those vocalists. And I sang the song and I walked away, took my money, and they said, "We're going to go in for the Eurovision." I said, "That's lovely. I won't be going anywhere near it. Have a lovely time." I'm a dread. I'm far too cool for the Eurovision. I couldn't possibly. And in the end, they paid me, I think it was another 4 times. We did a slow version, a dance version of this version.
Oh,
And they
really?
kept paying me to do it while my manager worked on me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Of
in the
course.
end, he said to me, look, it's promotion. Don't stress yourself out about it. It's 100 million viewers. It's there'll be 16,000 in that audience alone. It's 25 countries. Just go and do it. So I did. And I came second. And nobody's beat me since.
What, from
Which
the
is
UK? No, they haven't.
no. Sam
Absolutely.
Ryder came second a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
But
it's because Imaani's actually really a singer. Anyway, that's another song. That's
yeah.
another.
Well, I thought Sam was good. Sam really sang his arse off. He was good. But over the years, we've had some, I'll just say, questionable entries and leave it there.
Yeah, let's leave that there.
Let's leave
But
that
it
right
kind
there.
of, as they said, was promotion for you and put you on the map in a different way.
Totally. And it was an honour, really, because I would never expected to be chosen. I went in for this competition thing on the telly, and the next thing I knew, Terry Wogan was saying, you're in. I said, wow, okay, I'll do it. No, it was an honour, and it was good fun. It was big, and not something I'll ever repeat.
I like the way you say that. So even if you
Yeah.
were asked, you wouldn't do it again.
No, competition, that all of that stuff and the voice and all of those things. I've been approached to do all of that stuff over the years. And I don't want to go and make a fool of myself on national television. It's never appealed to me at all. Even the Eurovision, it's not a singers competition, it's a writers competition. If I'd have won, I wouldn't even got a prize. You do realize that the writers get a plaque.
The writers,
yeah, but the singer gets nothing. So it's like, I'm not going to go put myself through that on TV.
yeah, I know what you mean, because I think the competition thing is a bit precarious, isn't it? Especially when you're established on a certain level. It's different if you are trying to become established.
Yeah.
But
And
when you're
don't get me wrong,
established,
I know a lot of people who've done it, and I
oh
respect
yeah,
them. A lot of my peers have done it, and whether or not it's worked for them is for them to decide.
yeah,
I don't think that the Eurovision may have put me into a few living rooms, but I don't think it was instrumental in my career in any real massive way.
right,
Not really. It was good
yeah.
at the time, you know.
But I guess that by the time you got to the next phase after that, your name was on the map in a different way. They would have known, oh yeah, Imaani is that girl that sang
Yeah,
and
and it was an
came
honour. And
second.
being the first black woman, first black anything to represent this country
Is
in the
that so? You
Eurovision.
know, I've never really thought about it. Is that
Yeah.
so?
So first black person, first black woman to represent the UK.
In the
So
Eurovisions.
in the
Wow.
Eurovision Song Contest. So I'm pleased with that. You know, it's an honour, as I say,
And rightly
representing,
so.
representing.
So what did you go on to do after that? Which doors did that open for you?
It didn't. So it didn't. It really didn't. I was making an album at the time. So the whole process, we put that song in and I was creating my album. I was signed to EMI at the
Is that
time. And
Stand Tall?
Standing Tall, no, it was another album which never
Okay.
came out. Reason being, I was dropped from the label along with a lot of other artists. I was on there. It felt like all the black artists were culled, if I'm absolutely honest. So I was on there with Beverly Knight and Misha Paris and I think Lyndon David Hall. There were some wonderful people on that label, and a lot of us got dropped that same year. So if you
Wow.
think the Eurovision is in May, by the end of 1998, I was dropped. And then I just sat around in my house, because there's a perception when you do something big like that, people think, oh, she's far too busy. She won't, I couldn't possibly ask her. She's
And
above
you're
this.
sitting there going, actually, you could ask me, and I
You
wish
could
you
ask
would.
me, because if it's great, if it's something I want to do, I would do it.
Yeah.
So in the end, one of my backing vocalists who actually sang with me at the Eurovision, his name is Mark Anthony, and he was the voice of Still a Friend of Mine, Incognito. So I was touched that he even worked with me on my project, and he had a gig coming up, and I was like, Mark, let me sing for you. He said, I've got no money. I said, I will pay you, my brother. I just want to come out and stand on the stage. So I came out and did that gig. And from that, the calls came back in and I got back on with it. Then I was back at Incognito within a few months of that.
So you were in Incognito before that?
1996, I joined Incognito. 1998 was the Eurovision. And I believe the year 2000, I was back in Incognito. So there was a couple of years I did a bit of garage. I got to put a tune out called Freak Like Me, and that, well, I was the voice on it. My name's not on the record, but we charted at number 12. We did the Top of the Pops and did all of that stuff. And then I went back
Top
into
of the Pops, that's a blast from the past.
That was a blast from the pop, babe. We're of an age, you know. That was my biggest dream when I was a kid, to be on Top of the Pops.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I couldn't believe it. I got to do it twice, so I'm quite chuffed to bits with that.
So the first stint with Incognito was with your friend making the pathway for you to get there. You, Mark Anthony, is it?
No, I actually. Do you know what? I think it was Carly and Anderson that put me up for that. I know.
Right.
So my first ever tour, which would have been 1993 maybe, was with Jaleesa Anderson, who is her cousin.
Yeah.
So we ran around the world for a year. That was really fun. And Carleen came to a couple of the rehearsals that I was doing with Jaleesa and said, when you finish with this one, I need her for mine. So I was then asked to do Carleen's tour, which of course, you know, she was amazing. She, at the time, I'd never had any lessons. I just fell into this business and tried to warble as much as I could. And she used to make me lie on the floor with a book on my stomach and teach me how to breathe. And she was so nurturing and so wonderful. So I did a tour with her, and I believe when I got the call for Incognito, it was her who put me up.
Right.
So Bluey just rang.
I've spoken with Carleen many times because she's just that special kind of mother person that when you even see her, even saying her name now, I've got goosebumps. It's like that feeling of Carleen. And I've only ever heard wonderful things about her from everyone that's encountered her, whether it be in a professional capacity or, you know, friendship, social. It's always lovely things to say. And particularly the vocalists that have sung with her say exactly what you say. Very nurturing. And it's like a masterclass.
Totally.
She's helping you to be your best.
To realize your own potential.
Yeah.
And she was never afraid of you shining. She made it possible for you to shine, even you're a backing vocalist, but she took that time with you to make sure that you could do your best. And that, you know, I know it was her in my heart. I know I don't think I've ever asked Bluey actually, but I know it was her. And that's just the sort of thing she would do, because she would never try and hold anybody back. She just wants the best for everyone. She's such a lovely human being. Oh,
and that's a rare quality, I think, because especially in an industry that's quite competitive, there is still, to a degree, with some people, that crab in a barrel mentality.
Yes, I have found that over the years, definitely. Strangely and more upsettingly with female vocalists. I have a few close, beautiful women in my life, but not many. Over the years, there's that kind of professional jealousy, which I can't be bothered with. I really don't have time to be jealous of you. I'm too busy with my head down trying to just make my way. And I believe everything that I managed to get for myself, I did it on my own hard work. I got my own shelf that I sit on. I didn't want your shelf. That's your
business. This is it. I think
you know,
there's that thing of, if it's not in your remit to be jealous of people's lives, you're happy with your life. You don't want anyone else's.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want anyone else's life. But
that's the mentality I've had.
Are constantly, rather than getting on with what they're doing, they're looking at what Imaani's doing and how she's doing it. And they're looking at you and thinking, well, they're responding too well to her. I don't like that.
Yeah. But you know what? You're nobody, Barry, until you've got a couple of backstabbers in your life. Yeah. That's when
I guess that's part and parcel of it.
That's when you know you're making it. You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
No, but I mean, I just love watching you perform. And I remember there was a venue in Streatham, which is up the road from where I live. The
Hideaway.
I thought, well, why have they got that woman's picture on the wall and not mine? Even though I
love that picture.
Amazing.
I always invite everybody down. You want to come to the Hideaway? Come down.
Yeah.
Big face on the wall. I love it. That was a surprise. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh, it was a surprise.
Yeah, Fran. I was on the first night. I played there on the opening night with the owner of the 606. It was myself and then Misha Paris. And from that day, Fran and I just really got on. So she would book my band, and I do it. I used to do it 2-3 times a year. And then one day she said, I've got a surprise for you. And I came down there, my big face was on the wall. I said, I bloody love it.
It was
I
such a
bloody love
pity
it.
that venue went.
Yeah, I know. It was sad. It was sad. I know in the end, there was just a lot of roofing problems and this, that, and the other. And pandemic came and they just didn't have the wherewithal to keep it going. Sad.
Yeah, and you're thinking, well, how come places like the 606, which you would say is probably smaller,
Yeah.
some ways, 606, well, Jazz Cafe is a bigger thing. They managed to sustain it because, I mean, the Hideaway really had some great artists come there.
It did. It was a great venue, lovely venue to play at. It was very out of the way, but then I suppose you could say that about the 606, which is in Chelsea. But the 606 has been going for over 40 years.
Yeah.
So there's a legacy.
There's something
there.
Special about the 606, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a legacy there. It's an iconic little club, you know, and I love playing there. It's my favourite. That's my living room gig. Definitely. I'm very at home there. Possibly two at home there.
Yes, she even assaults the guests who are sitting in the front row.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about. So you would say, which is one of your favorite venues to play in London?
I love the Six, but I love the Six very much because it is, and you know, Steve has always given me that place to play, even in those days where nobody else would give me a place to play. He's always believed, and he's very loyal to his friends. So I have to big up the 606. But I would have to say my all-time favourite is Ronnie Scott's. I love Ronnie's. I love Ronnie's. The sound in there is incredible. It's another iconic place. The history of Ronnie Scott's is fabulous. I love being in the heart of Soho where all the buzz is. And I've played there many times with Incognito, and I've played there a couple of times on my own and sold it out. And I've got a couple of things coming up next year in there. But I love it. I just love that venue. There's something about it.
I was there last night to see Tom Brown.
Oh,
yeah.
We missed a chance to play with Tom Brown. I was supposed to play with him with the band CFO, but he was ill. That was about a month and a half ago. But
he had pneumonia.
That's right. He couldn't make it over. So sad because I did an interview with him, and he's just a lovely guy. Oh my God, what a nice person.
So funny and humble.
Yes.
You wouldn't imagine it, you know. And he invited me down, so I went, and the sound is great in there.
Yeah, it is. So it is. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I think he was with
Brit Funk.
Light of the World.
Oh, Light of the World. That was it. Yeah.
So do you still do any stuff with our wonderful band that you were with?
Incognito?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'm not full-time anymore. In 2019, I decided I didn't want to do long haul anymore. I just wanted to take a break. My son was quite young at the time, and I felt like I was missing stuff. And I wasn't willing to make that sacrifice for music. My family comes first. So I backed off touring, and I said, right, I'll only do Europe and only short tours, which took me kind of quite far out of the game because Incognito is a far-flung band. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Asia and a lot of far-off places, and you know, so that's. But I've always kept my hand in, and I've continued to gig with them, but just smaller and sporadically. My last gig the other day was Bristol. That was about 2 weeks ago. And my next gig is October the 15th. They're at the Barbican as part of their 45th anniversary.
Well, you know, I have to be on that list, darling.
Honey.
Absolutely, honey. Because I need to see. I've seen you do your solo thing many times, but I've never seen you actually perform with Incognito.
Have you not? You need to be at that one. That's an important one, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. And I always do sort of the run of Ronnie's at the end of each year. They do a New Year run into the New Year. I keep my hand in. I had to turn down Japan next month because it gets in the way of me going to South Africa because I'm headlining a show with these guys called the Layabouts who remix one of my songs, which is doing really well for about 12 years and it still won't die. So I'm going over there to headline.
Well, it's like the Soul to Soul track Back to Life. It keeps coming back to life. There's always another. It never ends.
Yeah.
But then you're saying that you're still doing long haul then, but with somebody else.
No, this year I've started. I've said, okay, I'm back. My son's just finished school. We've had,
how old is he now?
Exams. He's 16.
Okay.
So I've done my bit, and now I'm reclaiming a little bit of that sort of far off travel.
Yes, I
But I
guess.
still don't want to run away too far for too long, But I'm back.
Yeah, because 16 is a bit more independent, of course,
Precisely, precisely.
but he still needs his mother.
They need their mums. They
Yeah,
need
they
them.
do. You still need your mother, you know.
Yeah,
But I guess that's a sacrifice you kind of have to make if you have a family and are in that kind of industry, is, you know.
yeah. No, I think everybody makes that decision in their career. If you have a family, once, especially as a mum, you make a decision, and some people make the decision that they can do more hand in hand. But for me, I just love my family. I just wanted to be at home more. So I managed to find a balance that worked for me. So I
Yeah.
never stopped working because that would be nonsense. And I'm not very nice when I don't get to sing. So I have to,
Well,
I
it's what
have to
you
make a
do
balance.
and it's what pays bills as well. So you need to,
Precisely,
you
precisely.
need to strike the balance.
Yeah, but I think this, call it a sacrifice. I just made a choice. I
Yeah.
don't know that it was a sacrifice,
Yeah. You didn't
because I
even
don't.
see
I
it
don't
that
feel
way.
I've lost. I feel I've gained. I gained in seeing all my child's milestones and being there when he needed me when he was growing up, and I felt that, yeah, I haven't lost. I've gained.
Oh, yeah,
I'm back.
I get your explanation perfectly. It makes sense. It wasn't a sacrifice. It's like I gave up that to gain this.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. But
Yeah. I
luckily
didn't
for me,
sacrifice that. Because
yeah,
sacrifice means I really wanted to do it, but felt I had to give it up to do
no,
that. And you never felt that.
definitely not. No, I made a choice and it worked for me. And luckily, I never lost my connections with Incognito or all the other things that I was doing. I've managed to just keep everything just ticking along.
Well, I think with just you, your persona, your character, and of course the talent,
Oh,
once met, never forgotten. So, once you've been encountered, it's like,
for good reasons. I hope.
you're not going to forget that. So there'll always be, yeah, but what about Imani? Is she back in the scene? We need her.
Yeah, yeah.
And you are very family orientated. It was lovely to see you with your family at the 606, husband, son,
That's it.
and,
That's how I roll.
and your dad
Yeah.
and his book.
Daddy and mummy and my dad's book. I'm so proud of my dad in that book, I tell you, because I was instrumental. I edited the damn thing over a course of, I can't even tell you how long. But in the lockdown, my mum and dad were scared like the rest of us were in that first lockdown. We didn't know what the hell was going on. The world shut down.
Yeah.
And I could feel their panic over the phone and over the Zoom calls that we did back then. So I thought, my husband here has his daughter's grandparents. This is a long drawn out association. They have a cookbook. The family put together a cookbook of the grandma's recipes, and in that book there are family photos and a few anecdotes and stuff. And I looked at this book and I thought, we could do that. We can preserve our legacy a little bit. So I sent my parents on Amazon. I sent them a notebook each. And I said, Mum, write your recipes down, and Dad, my dad's the king of the eulogies. They always call on Mr. Crosdale to do the eulogy at the church. But I said, Daddy, when you pop your clogs, we're not going to know what to say about you. We won't know. So write some stuff. And once he started, he couldn't stop. So it was like 100,000 words he wrote. And he sent it to me, and I thought, oh my God, this is a book, but it was all over the place. So he'd gone from this year to that year to this event to that event, repeated this event. Oh my God. So I took it on and we worked together.
So did you do it yourself or did you get the help of an editor?
I did it myself. I did it towards the end of the process. So we spent ages on it, and I moved everything around and I made it into 2 parts, and we had endless meetings online. So we did it all online because I'm in London, he's in Derby. We did it all online. Right, Pops, I'll meet you on Thursday. I've got 12 till 4. And we would sit down and we'd work through, right, okay, this story that you've done here, can you expand on that? Or I don't think you need to mention that, Daddy. It's not quite, So we went through the process and sort of really shaped the thing. And then we found a publisher and we worked as more of a partnership deal. So we never had an editor. We tried to edit it ourselves. Yeah. But between the 3 of us, we came up with it. And I hear now somebody said to me that there are 11 mistakes in this book. I'm so peed off about that. But we did our absolute best. And I'm so proud of him. He's such a
but I don't think it's about the 11 mistakes, is it really?
It's not.
About, because the people who are going to point out the 11 mistakes haven't done anything.
It's that. It's exactly that.
This is what I'm beginning to find as you go through the journey of life.
Totally.
The people who are the most critical and can tell you, well, yeah, it was okay, but you did this. You stop and think, okay, but what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
Exactly. So he's achieved that, and he's amazing. He's got an OBE for services to the community, and
okay, what was his
he
field?
deserves his flowers.
What was his field in the community?
Race relations.
Yeah,
race relations. Okay. So he fought racism all his life. He came to this country in 1962 as a 17-year-old, and he saw the conditions because it was a shock to the system, and he just realised what the real deal was in England, how people were treated, and he decided, no, I'm not going to be dealing with that. And he's been an activist, and he worked within the Police Community Association. He worked for the BBC on programming. He's countless of cases with the law, you know, immigration stuff. He's a dude. He's opened 7 community centres in Derby and Nottingham. He is a dude. I couldn't be more proud.
The thing is that these are the stories and the stories of the people that I try to bring forward. That's why I do these things. I think it's a state where if you're not seeing what you want out there, you have to do it.
That's right.
And I think our stories need to be told to empathic and sympathetic ears.
I agree.
Respectful ears.
Yes.
And, you know, these stories need to be out there because there are a lot of people who've done great things in the community, like your father, Lee John's mother,
yes.
Carol Straker's father, another one. You know, they were all activists, and though they got their recognition with the OBE or MBE or whichever, there are a lot of people in communities that still don't even know about them. But they can tell you about whoever that's irrelevant to you in your life.
Precisely. And you have no idea who's working behind the scenes. And it's usually those who do the most work who want the least recognition. They're not interested. My daddy didn't do all of that for recognition. He did that to make the world a better place.
Because it was the right thing to do.
The right thing to do. And the same with Lee John's mum and all of those other people that you've mentioned. There are so many people working behind the scenes to give us the life that we have now. We would have been living like this. You know, can you imagine? I remember 30 years ago what it was like for me growing up, you know, and I'm sure yourself, we've got the stories. We've been harassed and name called and followed around shops and bothered by the police, and we've had it all. And if it wasn't for people like my dad and all of those others mentioned,
it would be the way they are now.
It's still not great. It's still not great, but it's 100 times better than it was.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, you know, it has to be mentioned that, as you say, there's certain things that you exist with as a Black person or a person of color, whichever. A resilience that's built up in you, because if you were to collapse every time something was an affront to the delicacy of your nature, you would be on the floor all the time.
Totally.
So, you know, there's
and you have a choice, don't you? You have a choice of how you're going to react to it. And you can do it in the way that my dad did, with quiet determination. There was never any massive kickback. He's never had what they would call a chip on the shoulder. My dad's not the chip on the shoulder, neither am I. It's not about chip on the shoulder.
It's not about that.
This is reality, and this is what we think we should do about it, and let's push forward and try and make a difference.
Positive change.
Positive change.
So when is your book coming out? Because I'm sure you've got plenty to write about.
I've got too many things to write about. But you know what? I used to ask Bluey of Incognito, when are you going to put your book out? And he said, Imaani, I can't mention all those names. And I feel the same. He said, people would come for me if I wrote the truth out. And I feel the same. That's the problem with the music industry. Anyone I put in these stories, you can't have them in print like that. No. Maybe I'll write it when I'm dead. It can come out.
When you're dead? No. I know you're talented, but to write when you're dead, that's something special.
I'll write the manuscript and I'll leave it to one side.
To be published after your demise.
In my will, I'll put that in my... You can publish it then. But no, I don't know that my story is that interesting.
I think it is.
It's my life.
I think it is. They're little bits and pieces, Yeah.
I don't know. I've been very lucky. I'm fortunate. I've met a lot of people. I've been around the world. I've got a building named after me in Nottingham, which is lovely. I've got Imaani House.
Really?
Yes, which is for a house for women who've suffered domestic violence.
Right.
So an association called Tung Tung named the building after me some years ago, and I was really blown away with that. So,
And what was the association with you and them? Is it just because you were from Nottingham, or what?
It's a Nottingham thing, and it's a community organisation. So I imagine that's come through my dad. But I used to go down and help them with things like the Nottingham Carnival. I would go and host sections for it, or judge competitions, and just get involved, because I am that kind of get involved kind of cat. And in the end, they decided when they opened this building, they wanted to honour me.
Well, that's a lovely honour. It really is.
And as the first black woman who represented the country, I think the Eurovision was a big part of it, because it was around 98, 99. I think they just thought it was nice to have somebody local who's done, local girl done good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's
probably... But I mean, I think that's when your life has more meaning. The more people you touch, the bigger your life is, and Absolutely. Touch positively.
Yeah, and that's what I want from my life. I don't want to. I'm not chasing fame. I'd love love to have more money, and I'd love to travel more and do more stuff. But at the end of the day, I didn't do it to chase fame. I sing because I can't imagine doing anything else. I sing because to not sing makes me not a nice person.
Really?
Yeah, it's my outlet. It's where I send my sadness, and where I send my anger, and where I express my joy in things in my life. And if I didn't have that outlet, I don't know what kind of person I would be. That's why I sing. I don't enjoy the process. I'm a nervous singer. I find stage terrifying. I find getting to the stage really hard. I worry all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I worry all the time. The smallest teeny gig, the biggest gig, it's all the same to me. It's all frightening. I just find the whole process really hard. But then when I get on there, I'm fine.
Wow.
I know.
That's really odd. Really odd.
I can't explain it. And that's why I work under a pseudonym.
But I guess, they do say that there's that certain amount of nervousness that you have to maintain when you're an artist before you go on, because anything else is arrogance and complacency.
I've got my share of that, I'm sure. not complacency. You couldn't accuse me of complacency, because it really, really matters to me. If I hit a bum note in a gig, the gig is
I can't imagine you ever doing such
the gig. If I hit a bum note, it's like, oh, forget it.
I'm going home.
It's over. Oh, they all heard it. Oh my God. And it's more the fact that people paid money to come and see me, and I didn't give them my 100. They deserve my 100%. And I'm giving them flipping 98 or 50% or whatever it is, because I'm not.
No, you would never go down to 50. You would never go lower than 99. It's not even possible.
The audience are very kind, and they never hear what you hear, and they never see.
But that vulnerability is kind of sweet. It is kind of sweet that I'm now picturing you nervous being backstage before you come on.
I'm dying inside before most of these things.
And I always saw Imaani as the one backstage going, "Look, get out of my way! Give me that microphone."
No, I'm not that girl. I'm one of those. I'm compelled to do it. But if I could think of anything else, I would do it. If there was anything else that would give me that complete joy that I get from it, I would go off and do that, because it's easier. It would be much easier than standing in front of people being judged. Oh,
really?
Oh, so hard.
Yeah. So hard. But I mean, I think you do an amazing job. And as I say, your life really has meaning the more people you touch. Get involved, participate, join in. And and it's only when you look back, you think, oh my goodness, I've done all that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to look back and think, actually, yeah, I did do that. And I did that as well. And I did that. But that's, I work hard. I work hard at everything I do, and I put 100% in. If you ask me to do something for you, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that's hopefully paying off. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think some people live with that principle, not everyone. Yeah. But some people do live with the principle of, once I've committed to doing it, I'm going to give it my best, my all, my 100. Totally.
And the audience is the most important thing. So if you've got a job like ours, which is privilege, it's a privilege to stand on stage and have people pay their money and come and spend their good time at Their hours that they could be doing 1,000 other things, they come and spend it with you. You need to be pulling up your game and giving them as best you can, because they deserve it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't even be here. This is
Well, yeah.
leisure. It's a leisure activity. Coming out to listen to music and buying records is a leisure activity. This is not life and death stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not a doctor. Do you know what I mean? I think even bin men are probably more important. Otherwise, we'd have the plague, wouldn't we? We'd have
We
rats. Think
would.
about it. Think about it.
Yeah.
In the order of importance, a singer is quite low down the list. It's all very pleasant and it's wonderful to be entertained, but it's not on your top 10 needs, is it really?
Well, I don't know. I think it's the pleasure that you give those that you feel are the top 10.
I agree.
Gives you
I
value.
agree. But
That's what gives you.
You know, I'm always so grateful when I stand in front of a full house.
As
singing.
are we.
Yeah.
As are we.
No,
So what
you
is next in store?
So next for me, where am I at? I've got a pretty cool chill couple of weeks now. So I'm back in, what am I doing? I've got Soul Mama with my acoustic band on the 18th of October. But before that, I am going to Spring Fiesta in Johannesburg, which, as I said, I'm very excited about. Really excited about that one. And some bits and bobs along the way. I'm doing the London Jazz Festival, as I always do, at the 606. I open every year. I think it's year 13 now, maybe more. And I do a completely non-jazz set. So I'm not entirely sure
exactly.
why. I just add more reggae in every year to make it work for me. And for some reason, it sells every single year. So I'm going to be doing that. And, you know.
And when does that open?
That is on the 14th of November.
Right.
Before that, the 15th of October, as I said, I'm back at the Barbican with Incognito. And just bits
Get
and bobs.
that, people. Barbican, 15th of October. That's the one. We don't
15th of October.
Okay.
And then 18th of October, come and see me at Soul Mama.
Soul Mama, yeah. I've been to that venue a few times. It's a nice, intimate venue.
It's very nice. It's very nice. I did it once earlier in the year and I had such a good time. So I'm excited to go back.
Yeah, I saw Avery Sunshine there.
Avery is a queen.
I've seen her twice.
Yeah.
And I say, when you leave her gig, you come out feeling like you've been on holiday.
Yeah. She really is sunshine, isn't she?
She is sunshine. She's uplifting, and just the energy. I felt like I'd been on holiday. Yeah. When she came back, I was like, listen, you have to put my name on that list because I'm coming back.
Oh, yeah. No, she's something else. I met her. We played with Incognito. We played many gigs alongside her in America and the tours that we did over there. And she's such a nice lady.
Just
once again, aren't I lucky? I meet these lovely ladies wherever I go.
She's fabulous. Kicks off her shoes and sits down on the stage and stamping her foot, drinking a bourbon, and now going, oh, this woman is special.
And singing her ass off and playing her ass off. She's incredible.
Yeah, she really is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I love that you're one of those artists that remains connected to everyone. You haven't got yourself too removed from your public.
No, I don't. I think that would be a travesty. You've got to be very careful because those who put you there can take you back down very quickly.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. So you have to maintain that respect for those that are, because you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody else out there.
Yeah. But not everyone sees it like that. So it's nice when you encounter artists who are like accessible to their public and their fans, and
It's important. I watch the way that Bluey works in Incog. After 45 years, he never ends a show and just goes home. He ends the show and goes out and sees the audience, and he sits and he talks to people. Yeah. And he takes his time. He takes his time over it. And he's always ready for a signing or a photo. He never would say no to stuff like that because he understands the power of the audience. He realizes that without them, he wouldn't be there. And I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, but and I both know that not all artists are like that. So as I'm saying, I think it's to be commended when you see it.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad. No, it's lovely. And I try and surround myself with good people. You and I, we both have our mutual friend, don't we? Our wonderful Mary Pierce.
Absolutely.
I can count my female artist friends on one hand, on a few fingers actually, and Elizabeth Troy would be another one. I've been very fortunate to meet and make friends with and keep those friendships up over the years, because I'm not the most sociable person, and they put up with that. You know, am I going to? They do. They put up with me. Marnie's, she's probably not going to make it. You know, I'm a homebody. I'm not necessarily comfortable in all social situations. I'm out when I'm working, and I struggle with the rest. That's
Really?
I do. That's just who I am. I'm quite insular. I'm quite insular.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not that social cat. You won't find me running up and down. I'm not in the club. I won't be in the club. No, I won't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know. So I suppose my gigs are my most social time.
Right.
Really.
Well, we look forward to seeing you at Soul Mama, at 606 starting the Jazz Festival, at the Barbican with
Incognito. Yeah.
Guys, you've got all the information. And of course, your father's book. Where can we get that?
It's out on Amazon now. You can get it as a Kindle version as well. It's called From the Hills to the City by Milton Crosdale. Thank you so much, Barrie, for letting me big him up. I love you.
Yeah. Listen, you only get one mother and one father, yeah?
You do. You do.
Big them up. So, thank you very much for your time. It's been more of a delight than I thought it would have been.
Oh.
And my computer is calmed down now. It's calmed down. Good. I tell you, when she came on, I pushed admit and the computer shut down. It was like, no, not Imaani. I'm not ready. Give me a moment.
You see, you got the wrong impression of me, Barrie. I'm a quiet cat. I'm
not me, the computer, love. This is science.
No, I'm a good girl. I didn't come to cause no problems today.
No, she didn't cause any problems at all. It was a lovely, lovely time. Thank you for talking to us.
My pleasure.
So we look forward to seeing you doing your thing on stage, and I'll pretend that I'm not seeing you nervous backstage, and just deal with what you present.
What I present will always come from the heart. That's all you need to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Take care, my lovely.
Thank you so much for having me, Barrie. I will see you really soon, right?
You will. I'll be at the front row. You know that.
Fabulous. Lots of love.
You know that.